Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little stream for you lads and lasses. We're back here with the latest evening transfer news goings on at Manchester United. We're going to get into it all in regards to that NSYNC wannabe milk bag, Alejandro Garnacho, and all the latest. So get involved throughout the show if you're here. Thank you for joining us, everybody in the chat. Rich J, Nas, Stuart Orlison, Young Source, Veni Vidi, Malp, Square Window, Steeler, Velvet River, and Dave Watkins. Prima Italia, Brandon, Malps, Westside, Lynette, Lisa and William, Purvis, Steve Barrero, Rajat, Westside, Shami, Bobler, and everybody else who's in here as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Do us a favour at the start of this one. Smash that like button on it. I just had a wee little lie down and almost fell asleep, but I managed to stay awake for the show. Just necking a coffee at the minute. Try and get myself off this, but I'm pissed off, to be honest with you guys. But we're going to get into it. Do us a favour at the start of this stream. Smash that like button. Hit the thumbs up if you can. That'd be amazing. Share it around if you're that way inclined as well. There's a link pinned at the top of the live chat if you want to give us a repost. Please do give us a repost. Okay, so the latest news, guys. Let's just get stuck in there raw with it then. Garnacho to Chelsea is a done deal. Fabrizio Romano confirming it this evening, as well as David Ornstein. Fab says this: Alejandro Garnacho will be in London on Friday for medical tests and contract signing as a new Chelsea player. £40 million fee confirmed with 10% sell-on clause agreed with Manchester United. Exclusive story since July. Ornstein said, Chelsea reach agreement with Manchester United to sign Alejandro Garnacho. Deal for the 21-year-old winger worth £40 million fixed fee plus 10% sell-on clause. Contract to 2032. Medical scheduled for London on Friday as the Argentinian international joins Chelsea from Manchester United. Right. First of all, I just want to say this. This guy getting gone out of our football club is a big positive thing. He's a complete freaking melt job. He is a toxic element at this football club that we need to dispatch of. So that's great. Get rid of this absolute toxic little melter. I guess that's the most important thing, isn't it? Absolutely. See you later on, Alejandro Garnacho. Go and tarnish somebody else's reputation of a football club. Go and darken someone else's door. Basically, fuck off, you NSYNC wannabe twat. You know, we all dislike Garnacho because of his attitude, because of how he carried himself after the Europa League final, because of how he publicly criticised the manager, because of how he posted himself in an Aston Villa shirt, disrespecting the fan base. And for many reasons as well. He's got a gash haircut, whatever you want to say. There's lots of reasons why we don't like Alejandro Garnacho. Plus, he's an inconsistent little melter who thinks he's like the next Cristiano Ronaldo, when in fact he's probably the next freaking, Carlton Palmer, in reality compared. He is bang bloody average in terms of his consistency. We know he has great talent, but did he put in that talent consistently for us last season? Not really. The season before he was great. But he hasn't got the bollocks to be a Manchester United player, it seems. He also doesn't have the desire to be a Man United player. So get the hell out of our football club. First of all, I'm happy that this guy's going. But the price tag involved is an absolute disgrace and an insult to Manchester United. Who have we got brokering these deals for us in terms of player sales at Manchester United? A set of bloody lemmings? I'm really concerned how little money we get for player sales. This guy wasn't on 200, 300 grand a week. This guy was literally on, 50 or 60 grand a week. Yes, he's a spoilt little prat, and he probably halved his price tag in a year because of his attitude alone. But even so, Man United not able to get at least 50 million quid for this prat? Not even able to get 50 million quid? Not even able to get 40 million quid and, 35% sell-on clause? Something that actually makes a lot more sense? No, we're just selling him to a Premier League rival for 40 million quid plus 10% sell-on clause. I think that's an absolute fucking disgrace. I think it's a joke of a fee that Chelsea are paying for us. Okay, I get it. No other motherfucker wants him. He's about as wanted as herpes, this guy at this football club, and many teams probably don't want him because he's got a stinking attitude. Okay, for some reason, Maresca wants him. All Argentinian friends, whatever. Maresca wants him over there. And he's wanted by them, but they've got us over a barrel. Alejandro Garnacho is on a contract at United. He doesn't want to play for us anymore. He wants to go and play for Chelsea. Chelsea are aware of the fact that no bastard wants him, which means that they're in a position where they can just put in a bargain offer, which they have done, and great if they get him. If not, they don't really need him, do they? Chelsea have got a bunch of talent in those areas. To be fair, they don't really need him. They're just adding him because he's available and he's one away from Manchester United. But make no mistake, this is a piss-poor fee that we are receiving for a great talent like Alejandro Garnacho. Goodness me, a year or so ago, he'd have been worth 80 million quid. And now he's going for 40 million pounds to a Premier League rival. I can't believe that we've agreed to this, to be fair. I'd have rather, in a lot of ways, this guy just rotted away at Man United rather than helping out Chelsea. This twat's going to play against us twice a season, and we're going to let this guy just go over there for 40 mil. We've been bent over raw by Chelsea yet again. Yet again, Chelsea in a much more powerful position in the window and the market, it seems, than us. Always. We pay 60 million for their fucking outcasts, for their melters. Mason Mount, absolute bang average melter. Surely, if anything, Garnacho should be worth more than the likes of Mason Mount. Oh, but no, he's worth 20 million less going in the opposite direction, even though his wages are 50, 60k a week at Manchester United. It beggars belief. I don't really understand it, guys. How are we so poor at manoeuvring these transfer deals? You know, why isn't there any other teams that we can palm him off to for a season just to save face? No, we're quite happy to just let him go for 40 mil. I think, I'm sorry, but I do forget the fact that he's going, because that's good. We all wanted him to go. If he was going to Chelsea for 55 million, I'd be happy about it in every regard, to be fair. But 40 is just too low, in my opinion. But let's ask the live chat here. Do you think that £40 million is a fair price for Alejandro Garnacho in the current market? Yes or no? Get your thoughts in there. I'm just basing it on the fact that other players are going for lots more money as well. And you know, the contracts they're being offered are high-wage contracts, and they're going for 55, 60 million. It's common this summer for bang-average sort of wingers like Madueke or whoever to be going for 50-odd million quid. So if he's going for that amount, then surely Garnacho should be worth that amount. Basically, he's just screwed us over, isn't he? Such a stinking mentality and personality that this guy has. He has put himself in a position where he's a toxic individual, and everybody knows that. And he's made it quite, nasty at the end, I suppose. He could have been professional, carried on, tried to move away. Instead, he's, posting cryptic shite on social media and all sorts of guff. And obviously they've got us bent over here, guys. I'm not happy about it. Yeah, it's a low ball offer, and we've just accepted it and bent over and taken it. 40 mil plus 10% is a joke. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for your super chat. He says, good luck in the championship playoffs next year. Shut your face, mate. Thank you very much for the £2, though. Yeah, Chrissy J says 40 million, we're a joke. We got mugged, says Kiana. I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks this. I'm sure most of us are all happy to get rid of this twat, even though he does have big talent. But that's my concern. On paper, this guy's a fantastic signing for Chelsea, apart from his attitude. But actually, his talent, if you look at what he's done as a teenager from 18, 19 into his early 20s here, his progression and development has been very impressive. It's been very good. Season before last, he was excellent for us. Last season, he was sporadic and guff. But his development, his experience as a young guy, and he was involved in the Argentina setup. I don't think he was selected in the current squad. But either way, he has been involved there. He will be involved there. This is a player that's going to flourish and develop over the next few years into a better player, you would think, than he is now. I suppose there's no guarantees. It's all about the attitude. If you look at Jadon Sancho when he was coming to United, everyone thought he was going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. As it turned out, he was the next gashest thing since gash head, which I don't know really what that is. But I'm just saying, there's obviously a discount on Garnacho at the moment because of his stinking attitude and his situation. Oh, right, let's see what you guys were saying on that then. See who's happy with it. You're happy with the prices, Brandon. Fair play to you, Brandon. Good riddance. Yeah, no, I'm happy to get rid of the motor. I guess 40 million is better than a kick in the anus. But again, 50 million, 55 million, or even just a bigger sell-on clause. Just something to make it actually a good sale for us. 40 million quid is chump change for a player like Alejandro Garnacho. I'm actually disgraced that we've not been able to get more for him. I think we should have been getting at least 50. Mount's a better team player. Oh, I always say this about Mount. I find Mount to be pretty average. I mean, I find Garnacho's got a bigger future than the likes of Mount. Garnacho is and can be a match winner, to be fair to him. I've only really seen Mount do it once or twice for us in that sense. He's a bit of a melt. Yes, he is a good team player, and his attitude's good. He's got a nice smile on his face, and he works hard. He's everyone's friend. But he's also a bit bang average, if we're being honest. And we paid 60 million quid for Mount. 60 million quid. I don't see how he's worth 20 million quid more than Alejandro Garnacho a couple of years ago as well. If anything, the market's gone up in terms of the amounts that teams are having to pay for other players. Too low, says Nomad. Yes, no, 80 million. Yes, no, effing way. Yes, no. He started his career betraying Atletico Madrid. He will end up betraying a journeyman playing for his ego, just like Pogba, who betrayed all clubs along the way too. I could see it going that way. He's learned from the best. He's learned from the likes of Jadon Garchacho. Yes, no. Yeah, it's disrespected Hughes, let him go for way less. You would take it as a Chelsea fan. Yeah, fair play. So just one thing I want to say to you Chelsea scummers. So you have got him for a cheap deal, but one thing I would like to highlight is he is a bit of a bad egg. At least he has been for Man United over the last year. He's been a spoiled little rotten brat. So good luck, baby, and that twat for the next 7 years at your football club, because he's going to have you guys by the short and curlies as well for the next however long with player power. So enjoy that when he can't be asked to do it for you and he kicks up a paddy about, I don't know, not getting selected in a game, or he posts a picture wearing a fucking Derby County shirt on his Instagram. Whatever he does, yeah, there will be some times like that, so enjoy that. The end of the day, we're letting this guy go because he is a toxic element. So although he is a good talent and a good player, you've got yourself a wrong-un there, mate. You've got yourself an absolute wrong-un. Okay? So enjoy it. Yeah, 40 million quid's a piss take. But it's not if he ends up being a complete, like, I don't know, like a parasite at your football club. Like we've just unleashed some sort of a parasite into your club. And he's just going to suck the lifeblood out of your football club, mate. You know, how you didn't think about that, did you? No. Ever heard of a poison chalice? Ever heard of a cheeky little wooden horse of Troy? Yeah? Well, this is Garnacho. We basically turned up at Troy, you know, after ransacking them for fucking years with a big wooden horse. Except that it's just Garnacho. Garnacho's going to come in, mate, and then we're going to unleash the hordes upon Chelsea, mate. Yeah, the toxicity will begin. Yeah, you don't think we've thought this through? No, seriously, though, he could be a negative element on you is all I'm saying. I expect, obviously, you know, he'll be in contention for starting, but then again, maybe not. But he's going to have to fight his way in there and prove himself at that club, just like he would here. And today I feel like Chelsea are getting him because he's a cheap bargain at the moment, and that's the only real reason. They don't really need him, if you ask me. Oh, yeah, this is a low point as a United fan. It really is. The Grimsby stuff, selling good star young players who were winning Puskás Awards for goal of the seasons and probably were worth double the amount of money a year ago for 40 mil to Premier League rivals Chelsea. It is a bit of a kick in the happy sack, isn't it, lad, at the moment in general from every direction. G-Wolf United, how you doing? He says 40 million means we can spend over 100 million as he's an academy graduate. I mean, it is all profit. It is all profit. We paid barely anything to Atletico to get him in initially. It is all profit. You're absolutely right. So that's good. But still, could have got a little bit more than that, I think. You have to love what you can get. In this case, 40 million. If you want 50, then don't tell everyone you want to get rid of him. Thanks for the discount, bozos. Well, that's it, isn't it? That's it. You know, same goes with Antony and Real Betis. They've waited until the last embers of the window in order to try and get a deal done here for Antony because they know that, well, we're desperate to get rid, so we kind of have to take a low ball offer. Same thing's probably going to end up with Jadon Garchacho as well. So that's absolutely true. Teams know we want to get rid of these players, and it doesn't put us in a very powerful position. Piss poor from Manchester United. Yeah, Mount's Mr. Positive. He is. He's a nice fellow. He's a nice guy. He's a nice, smiley individual. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in performances on the pitch, and Mount is bang average, my friends. Oh, Double A, how you doing? Anyway, welcome in, everyone. Do us a favour if you just join us. There's lots of people in here. We've got nearly 500 legends in here. Hit that like button. We're nearly at 200 likes. Thank you so much to everyone who's hit the thumbs up. So let's blitz that 200. Also, subscribe if you're new. And shout out to the sponsor of this video here, Match Bingo. Link in the description. 18 plus. UK only. You can download the app using the QR code. Gamble aware. Oh, it's a grim 24 hours for you. It is, mate. It is, mate. I'm struggling with this one. I'm still struggling to get my head around it. It feels like we've sold a fantastic young prospect to a Premier League rival for chump change. I can't really see why this makes sense. But there you go. I think that just tells you the position that we're in. Now, a few years back, it would have been the other way round. You know, it would have been us being able to get these sorts of players cheap from these other teams, you know, like we did, remember, with Robin Van Persie. I'm not comparing Garnacho to Van Persie, but do you remember with Robin Van Persie from Arsenal? We managed to get that guy for chump change. 20 mil from Arsenal at the time. It's an absolute joke for the best striker in the world. That's because, you know, we had all the power in that situation. He wanted to leave. It's the same situation, but obviously he's nowhere near as good. So, yeah, that's why I guess they've got him for cheaper. But I'm not happy about it, guys. We should have got more. We should have been firm on 50. I think Chelsea, with all their money bags, could have coughed up 50. Or at least they could have coughed up 10 down the line. Or some more money down the line. Some sort of structured deal. We know Chelsea like to buy things on the never. So why wouldn't they have just given us an extra 10 mil a bit further on down the line? We've been bent over. Yeah, you can pay 80 million for Jackson now. Oh, God forbid, no. Yes, well, that's it, George. So that's another thing. We got that 40 million. I mean, apparently we had like 80 million set aside for Belabor. Now, that deal did not materialise due to Brighton saying he's not for sale and not being prepared to take anything less than 100+ million for him. So it just priced us out the move. But there was an understanding we had money sat there for Baleba. Now, if we sold Garnacho as well, if we do get a goalkeeper, perhaps even Andre Onana would be moved on, at least on a loan basis, gets wages off our books this season. It's possible. So we could be recouping some cash back as well in other places. Antony to Betis, we'll get onto that in a bit. That's also going to generate us some cash and get some wages off the books. We're going to have to take a hit on that one as well because, you know, we're in a weak position yet again. Malt Licky Texas, thank you so much for your super chat there, lad. Can we get some love hearts in there for him? Thank you so much. He says, Piggy, Arsenal will take him off Chelsea. Well, maybe in a few years' time. That's it, but we're only going to get a 10% sell-on clause. That's the other thing that I think's piss poor. We couldn't even get 20% or 25% sell-on clause for the future for a 21-year-old player. That's very strange. Why haven't we got a more significant sell-on clause? They've only paid £40 million for this guy. We have got lemmings doing our business, guys. It's got to be said. We should have got a lot better of a deal than this. They needed to get Timo Schaffer on the case. It's pathetic, really, from Man United. Thank you for that, Molly Texas. Mike Hill, with your super chat, he says, we need Qatar, a complete club reset. It's the only way, or we will end up like Forest or Everton, forgotten clubs. Also, how's the printer? The printer's fucked, mate. Yeah, printer's gone. I mean, I haven't tested it. It still has parts on it. So maybe it still prints. I don't know. I'd imagine the ink cartridges are somewhat, you know, not so good. Anyway, so thank you for that, Mike. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously the Qatar thing would have been great for us, but as it is, we've got the shithouse Glazers and Ineos in bed together, and they're not really doing a great job, are they? I mean, they've tried to some extent this summer to give Amorim what he needs, but they haven't gone the whole hog. We still haven't got that midfielder. We still haven't got that goalkeeper, which when you think about it, it being nearly September, and we still haven't got the goalkeeper, that is an absolute farce that we haven't got a goalie in there when you consider we knew this was a big problem for years, or we certainly knew this was a big problem since Onana's been in the club, and certainly after last season's performance by him, we knew we needed a new goalkeeper. We should have got a top-class goalkeeper much earlier on in the window. It should have been a much higher priority. Instead, we went for number 10s when we already had number 10s. I'm pleased we got the number 10s, but we should have also been focused on a midfielder and a goalkeeper, probably first and foremost. As it is, we've done things backwards, and now we're scratching around with a couple of days left in the window to try and get some sort of deal for a midfielder, maybe a goalie. That's if the Glazer shithouses and Ineos actually even are prepared to go and buy. Hopefully they will be now Garnacho's been sold. That is a big plus point. You know, yeah, 40 million plus 10% sell-on. It's not all that, is it? It's not all that. Yeah. Piggy's printer who art in heaven. What's happening with Antony? Okay, let me just get onto the Antony stuff for a second then. But this Garnacho stuff just grinds my gears. Yeah, let's move on to Antony. This annoys me as well. But a little update this evening from Fabrizio says that Antony to Real Betis is a very hot deal. And it could happen soon. United still want to bring in Senne Lammens. Conversations are ongoing. So it's just a case of the next couple of days, Real Betis are going to chance their arm with a couple of bids. I'd imagine they'll start very, very low. They'll know that United's desperate to sell this guy and get him off of our books and get some money back. And I don't know, they might go in there for as low as 20 million, or they might even just try and wait and get him for a season-long loan again and pay a small fee up front and cover 100% of his wages. You know, if there's no other offers on the table for Man United and that's the only one, then it's better than not having him go, isn't it? It's better than not having him go. So they know that they're in a very strong position there for Antony. Why can't that Dutch Kojak Ten Hag put his little grotty little fingers in the pies, you know, in the mix here for this signing here? Why doesn't he want his golden child, Antony dos Gastos? It's so annoying, you know, over at Leverkusen. That would have been a nice move. He should be thinking about going there. Ten Hag doesn't want to. Ten Hag's learned his lesson after signing this Malta. But anyway, that's making some headway. There is some steam being gathered here, I'd say, with Antony to Betis. Again, it could be just a loan move if they're really skint, if they're really not prepared to pay us any money. What I expect is they'll probably end up paying around about 25 million euros for him, aka 20 million quid. And that may not even all be up front. Could be over a couple of seasons. But I'll ask the live chat, guys, how much do you think we will end up receiving from Real Betis? That's if he goes to Betis. But how much do you think we'll end up receiving from Real Betis for Antony dos Gastos? Let's talk in pounds sterling. So I say 20 million. 20 million plus maybe some gash sell-on clause guff. Or it might even be a loan, as I say. I know, Mayor Baltimore, mate. Fishmongers galore's done us raw. Dude, they did. They treated us like sushi, mate. Raw sushi. Amorim's not the problem. The players let us down time and time again. I mean, come on. To be fair, those players shat the bed, mate. They should be beating Grimsby with no coach. So I agree largely, but also Amorim needs to adapt and change a little bit here. He's obviously not doing well. If you look at his results, they are shambles. He has to change. He has to improve the result. Look, it's 3 games into the season. It's not really time to panic just yet, but let's just hope we smash up Burnley. Otherwise, then it may be time to start panicking, because we don't want to be in a 15th place position come the end of the season again. That's just an absolute non-season. We have to start making some progress. Otherwise, what are we really doing here? 20 quid, 25 million, 25 million, 20 million and a fidget spinner, 30 mil, you say, 2.7, 15, 20 million over 5 seasons, 20 million, 22. Well, they are known to be skint there, Sanguini. So that may well be the case. It might have to be a structured deal if we want to get him gone. 35 million, 30 million, 30, hopefully. Ryan Martin, how you doing, you legend? 1/4 of what you paid. Yeah, 85 million is what we paid for Antony. That's got to be one of the worst pickups, alongside, Hojlund, Onana, and many others. Mount. 15 million. You don't know about number 10s, but you have loads of number 2s. 2.75. 20 million if they bid anything. 30 mil, says G-Wolf. 30 mil would be a decent bit of business by United. If we could get 30 mil for Antony. I know we just said we paid 85, but his stock has plummeted. We got battered last night. Yeah, 60 minutes they pumped us over, didn't they, mate? 18 mil, 1 million. Nothing will go on loan. Could be Gav's highlights. Yeah. That's it, like I just said. If that's really the case and they're properly skint and they don't want him permanently, or at least not this summer, and maybe they want to defer it to next summer and have an obligation to buy, that could be it. Maybe they pay a few million up front. They take him on this season. They get him for 100% of his wages. That's covered for us, and then there's an obligation or maybe even an option to buy in a year's time if they've got the funds. I could see that happening. Loan 5 million, yeah, will be a loan 100%, says Kate Cadet. I could see that happening, yeah. Betis are a bunch of skint melters. Betis can't afford his salary. He won't go there. Well, yeah, I mean, there is something called, I think, is it like the Beckham rule or something? When a player goes over there to La Liga, they get a tax break for a while, which essentially means that Betis can pay him less than what we do, but he still ends up banking the same amount. Something like that, lad. Enough for a can of Pepsi and a bag of crisps for Antony from Real Betis. Yes, the players haven't cared for years. All they care about is the money. Largely, a lot of them do seem to have stinking attitudes these days. They're not United players, are they? Sanguini says, people saying 30-35 have no idea what money Betis operates with. Their record is 20-something. Yeah, no, they're not going to really be paying big money for Antony. That's a fair point. Probably be loan obligation, 30 million. Gucci Wanamane, thank you so much for your super chat, mate. He says, thanks, guys, for the prospect. Up the Chelsea. I mean, it is actually a very good prospect. You think about how much they paid for... Oh shit! My brain's having a melt job. From the Bundesliga guys, the young English, fuck. Oh, anyway, who they signed this summer. Anyway, if you look at that, right, that is a prospect as well. That guy never capped for his country or anything. Gittins, thank you guys. Gittins, thank you. Sorry, the name just completely fell out of my brain. So Gittins. If you think about that, well, Garnacho's more experienced than that guy, isn't he? So it's a good pickup. It is a prospect. He is only 21, and for 40 million, it's not even that much of a risk or anything. So it is a good piece of business by Chelsea. He is a bit of a toxic melt, and maybe he'll end up being a bad influence, but I think he'll probably at least have a good season or two to try and prove Manchester United wrong, because he's that sort of prat. So yeah, there you go. He is a good prospect for not a lot of money. Jay Chapman, thank you so much for your super chat. He says, Ten Hag done us off big time. Oh, he did us over big styly, didn't he, this twat? Yeah, got rid of a couple of our good players, people like McTominay and Alvaro, and the goalie, obviously, De Gea, and one or two others even that's avoiding my brain again right now. But and then he also signed probably the biggest set of melt jobs you've seen since Robbie Savage was playing in that Derby County side. That's what it seems like to me. Diabolical last night. You hate Pep, but he could have coached the 5-a-side City players to beat those fishermen last night. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. All City would have had to have done is turn up, really, to win that game. Gittins, there it is. Kojak, not Kojak. Ten Hag absolutely done us. Thank you for your super chat, by the way, there, lad. Appreciate you. Okay, let's just get into the rest of the news we've got then, and then we'll get into a big Q&A. Thank you, everyone who's here, by the way. So we do have a report as well coming out from various sources, including the BBC and various places, that Ruben Amorim still has the backing of Manchester United board, including Sir Jimmy Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe's prepared to give Amorim time to turn things around at Old Trafford. So this has come out this evening, and it's reported on BBC website as well. I believe that is the right thing to do. Give him time. He does need time. It's like we could be kind of close to doing something or turning a corner. We don't truly know yet. He only came in mid-season last season amongst an absolute shower of shite. Yes, he's not covered himself in any glory. His record is truly abysmal as Man United manager. When you look at the points tally per games, etc., it's truly abysmal. It's relegation form in the league. So he has to change. He has to get results. We have to see improvements. He's been back to a degree with signings, and he's been back with the ability to get rid of players as well. Big choices and decisions to get rid of players like Garnacho and Rashford and these sorts of guys. Obviously, big players for Man United that were at one point very much liked by this football club in a lot of ways. So big decisions were allowed to be made by Amorim, and he's been back to a degree. He hasn't been back fully, and if we're truly going to see the best of Amorim, we need to back him fully. We do have to go and get him that central midfielder, Baleba type. We do have to get him a new top-draw goalkeeper to replace Flubberhand Onana. We do have to get him, ideally, a right wing-back as well, because Dallow's gash-tastic, and also Ahmad's not a defender. So if we could do anything in those areas before the end of the window, we'll be truly helping Amorim. And we've got 40 million for Garnacho. We believe we had around 80 set aside there, or at least had the facility credit-wise in order to get another 80 together for Baleba. So if we've got that sort of money left, let's go and strengthen and get these positions covered there for Amorim. Obviously, we're working on Lammens. Fab said earlier on today that we are back in talks for Senne Lammens after yesterday's game to try and reach an agreement with Antwerp. Onana shat the bed in that game. Both the goals were his fault. Terrible defending as well led up to it, don't get me wrong, but the actual goalkeeping howlers were on display. It was mistake after mistake again in his first game back for Andre. Bad decision by Amorim to select him, but Andre is a problem. He's always going to be a calamity. He's just got that in him. He didn't look confident going into the game, and it showed why. He's just a calamitous individual. So he needs to be sacked off immediately, move him out on loan, move him out of transfer. Lammens hopefully gets done soon. Again, Lammens to me is maybe not the ideal candidate to go for. We should get someone who's a more experienced goalkeeper, but I'll take him every single day of the week over Flubberboy. And what else were we talking about here? Not that. That's old. Anyway, yeah. Hojlund. Rasmus Hojlund as well, sorry. He's expected to be moving, probably on loan with an option to buy as well before the end of the window. So pretty shoddy work from us with player outgoings, but it does mean that we should be able to free up some funds to sign a couple of players before the end of the window. I am hopeful that we will do that because we need it. If they don't do it, if they don't get at least a midfielder and a goalkeeper, then our owners are just so unambitious and they don't give a shit. I know they've spent 200 mil, but they still don't truly want to back the manager if they're not going to give him the glaring issues or the players to solve the glaring issues in the team. Mister, thank you so much there for your super chat there, you legend. Yes, hardcore gamer, we need David back. Mister, thank you so much. He says, you just know Garnacho's going to score the winner at Old Trafford in a few weeks. Anyway, have a pint on me, pig. Thank you so much, Mister. Excellent. Thank you very much there, getting in there raw, lad. I will. You see, that's what I'm worried about. We're giving him away for 40 million quid, basically. I mean, that is really cheap. And he's got the potential to, hurt us in the future. We're going to have to pay that twice a season. So that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking it's part of it. If you're going to sell him to a rival, they're going to play against you. But we've given him away for dirt cheap. And he actually has potential to be very good for them for several years. Yeah. Get rid of Amorim to compete. Honestly, he's only a part of the problem, mate. And he's a small part of the problem because he's not had that long to work on it. Think about Sir Alex Ferguson. It took him 5 years to get going. It can take some time sometimes to rebuild and change the culture. We had a culture of lazy bastards, egomaniac, prima donna prats at the football club before Amorim came. And that's still a problem at this football club. They're still here. Just symbolically and psychologically, the squad will be much better off when it's official in regards to Garnacho, Sancho, and these sorts of melters having left Manchester United, and now we have a known settled squad of hard-working players. And I'm sure there's still one or two more weeds to weed out of this first team. Of course there is. But right now it's about getting the right mentality, getting that hard-working approach, and just being a good team. Look at Grimsby yesterday. They don't have a star player in there. But, of course, they're a team. They work hard for each other. They got heart. And that's what makes a good team. Yes, okay, the better players you have, the better team you're going to be. But only if you've got the bottle and the heart to back it up, which our players, well, they didn't have last night. And they're going to need to get that, otherwise we're screwed. Yeah, don't say that in the chat there, David Rush. I removed your comment there, lad. Please don't say that, mate. What's that? Ollie's just been sacked. Are you kidding me, Norman? Oh, shit. Get Ollie back behind the wheel. Ollie's sacked. Oh, my God. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's been sacked. Oh, my God. Ollie. Ole Gunnar. Hang on a second. This is crazy, mate. Ole Gunnar's just been sacked. Oh, my God. Bless him. I didn't even realise he's having a shite time. Last season, he was doing quite well. Ole Gunnar's been sacked. Oh, yeah, look, Besiktas have sacked Ole Gunnar following a board meeting this evening. Are they doing proper shite, are they? Oh, they missed out on Europa Conference League playoff loss. They lost to Lausanne. Oh, shit. Well, that's gash, isn't it? Well, bless him. He's a legend, old Ollie. What a player, what a man. He was actually a good manager for us as well. Not a great manager, but he was a good manager for us. Especially in hindsight when you see what's happened since then. He had the players playing with a bit of heart. You know, he definitely had a bit of heart. And was prepared to go for it sometimes. Didn't always work, but he did well. He got us finishing second one year to a Europa League final. We only lost on pens. Like, he did all right, to be fair. I love Ole Gunnar. And, you know, maybe he's not the right guy to come back if it doesn't work out with Amorim. But I guess he'd have to be in the conversation, wouldn't he? He'd have to be in the conversation. Ollie in. Ollie back. It's written in the stars. Well, look, if Amorim was to fail over the next course of the next few weeks, let's just say this happens. Let's just say we lose to Burnley. We've got 1 point out of a possible 9. Then we've got international break for 2 weeks. Then we come back and we play Chelsea and City, and we lose both of those games. If that happens, you know, there might well be the decision from the hierarchy to maybe sack off Amorim. And there's also an understanding that maybe Amorim might even walk over the international break anyway. That's interesting, isn't it? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacked. Let's ask the live chat, guys. Would you have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back as Man United's next manager? Yes or no? Get your thoughts and opinions in. Genuinely, he was a lot better than what we've had since Ole. You know, it was only really bad decisions maybe getting in Sancho, and perhaps Ronaldo upset the status quo of things in the squad as well at the time. Before that, he was doing really well. Hey, Chris Koo, what's going on? It's a shambolic price to receive. I know we've been stitched right up, mate. We've been bent over raw by Chelsea on Garnacho loan. Ollie's a goner. Love him. Was too young. Should have been assistant first. Yeah, I haven't seen that. You know, I'm good kind of mate. No. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying about Ollie then. Bring Ollie back right now. Insane to want Ollie back. Come home, Ollie. Well, Ollie was a lot better than what we've had since Ollie. Okay, now, I don't think he's necessarily the guy to go and win you major things. But he still had us up there playing good stuff, smashing up PSG in the Parc des Princes and beating City more times than they beat us while he was manager. He wasn't Sir Alex yet. You know, good club. Yeah, good manager. He's decent for us and a legend. Keane and Martin O'Neill would help you. Interim mate could do the baby-faced assassin. Roy Keane would give Ruben a kick in. Get Ollie back even as the new tea lady. New assistant manager in case Amorim sharts it. Well, yeah, Iriola, perfect manager to build your club and squad together. That's good shout, Boomchanker. Always been impressed by what I've seen from him in English football, to be fair. Samson says, you love Ollie. You're the reason why this club is in the mud. You want a shit manager sacked by Cardiff and Besiktas as well as United. Yeah, you do realise, though, that he was sacked pretty sharpish. He actually had a very decent season. He only just missed out on the Europa League by penalties. If we'd have won that, he'd have been given more time in the job. And if you actually think this, Samson, I can't even have a conversation with you. If you think Man United would have not been better off, given hindsight, to just have stuck with Ollie rather than doing what we did and having Ralphie Ragnick and Eric Ten Hag and now Amorim. You know, up to this point anyway, if you don't think that Ollie would have probably just done just as well, if not better, then I can't even have a conversation with you, mate. Because we've been worse since Ollie left, mate. We've been worse. Only on interim for me. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not saying Ollie's the answer, guys. I think if we're going to go get a manager, it has to be one of the big daddies, one of the big boys. I'm talking an Ancelotti type. Now, obviously, he's not available, or a Zidane type, but these guys are very unrealistic. I've always rated Eddie Howe very highly. I'd love to go and pinch Eddie Howe off of Newcastle. Eddie Howe is everything I want in a Man United manager. He carries himself well. He's a good tactician. He develops youth really well. The teams he plays with play exciting football. I've always rated Eddie Howe. He would be my number one choice, but we can't go and get him from Newcastle right now. So, there's not really that many great candidates available. Really, we need to stick with Amorim. But honestly, if we charted it with Amorim and we had to go and get a quick fix for someone for a short term or whatever, we could do a lot worse than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. At least he loves this football club. Thank you. Nice one, Chris Ryan. No, yes. Ollie back as interim. Ollie in with Sir Alex is number 2. No, yes. Yes, no, move on. No, Ollie in. Yes, yes. Bring him home. I would. No, yes. You'd have him, but I doubt he wants us, to be honest. Yes, no, yes. Yes, no, yeah. It's very split in the live chat. I mean, it's obviously not going to happen, is it? We're all talking about it for a bit of fun because Ollie's just been sacked. But it's not realistic, is it? They're not going to go back there, I don't think. Captain Kringles, thank you so much for your super chat here as well, lad. Let's get in there for Captain Kringles. He comments and he says this: Ollie is 100% Norwegian, including AF. That may be his kryptonite when it comes to Premier League football as a manager. Even me respect the guy. What a legend. I don't really know what you just said, Captain Kringles, but I love it, mate. Thank you so much there, Captain Kringles. You're a legend. Yep. I know. He's a heck of a guy, isn't he? You've got to have a lot of love for Ole Gunnar. Not that desperate. Well, I mean, obviously we're not going to go for him, are we? Gav's highlights, thank you for your comment. He says, would you bring Mourinho back, Pig? As he said in a press conference, he wants to return to Premier League. If any lower team wants him, he's ready to return. I mean, I'll be honest, Jose Mourinho is an absolute winner. So, yes, his football wasn't the most beautiful. But if you want someone who can get results and who can create, a togetherness with a team, at least in the short term. Long term, he might cause some issues, but at least in the short term, couple of seasons, he's somebody that can definitely steady the ship. Plus, he's got, big sort of character. He's got like a big persona. He's just somebody that would command that level of respect. I don't really like his football. When he was at United, I didn't love it. Didn't really fit Manchester United, but there's no doubt in that he's a born winner in terms of his ability to coach teams to win things. He's a very good coach. He's one of the legends of the game, to be fair. Jose, no thanks. Mourinho's the past. Yeah, how can you say Ollie was a terrible manager? Second in the league, near winning final Europa on pens, yet we've had Ragnick, Ten Hag and Ruben. I'm with you there, Gabe Morey. He certainly didn't do badly. Compared to the others that we've had, he's comparable, to the Jose's more so than the Louis, I think. Jose's past hit, bring in Klopp. We need less Amorim interviews. You might have a ban of Portuguese coaches or players. Interesting. Pig, do you think we could get for Onana, ham sandwich, half pint? Honestly, we should be able to get 25 million for Onana. That's half of what we paid for him. We paid 50. We should be able to get 25 for him. He's still a good young keeper. He's still got the best years ahead of him. For the right team, and it probably will be a lower team, like a lower Prem side or a lower Italian team side. Then again, he was playing for Inter, wasn't he, in Italy a couple of years ago? So I'm sure he would be wanted. I think we could get 25 million for Big Andre. Ollie sacked, Rude sacked, United old boys having a shite time. Well, Rude wasn't really sacked, was he? Okay, fair enough, but he just was overseeing things as a caretaker for a few games, pretty much. Just bring in proven winner regarded managers, someone with guts can run our sinking ship properly. Raisin Devil, I love it, lad. Get in. It's more about what he's done since. Fair enough. Yeah, he's not done brilliantly, although he did start well, didn't he, there over at Besiktas? I remember he was flying when he first took over there, but yeah, he's not been able to sustain it by the sounds of it. I've not really been following what's been going on over there in Turkey, to be fair. Gucci Watamale, thank you so much again for your super chat. Break out the red panties for him, lads and lasses. Okay, we are going to get back into a big Q&A in a minute. I'm just going to cover the news here quick. We're going to go and shout out everyone that's reposted us on X there using the link at the top of the chat. Then we're going to get into Q&A for a bit here, guys. But this Garnacho transfer, just to summarise, great that this melt's going. Gash amount of money that we've received. It's a piss poor sale, for a good prospect who's got years and years to develop in the game and will be playing against us as a rival for many seasons. It's chump change. We've been stitched up financially here by the Chelsea Gunners big time. And we've just taken it. We've just bent over and taken it. So I'm pissed off, but at the same time, it's good that he's gone because he's a toxic melter and we need to move on. But we should have been able to get a lot more. Right, let's just do a rundown of what we've discussed here very quickly, guys. So Garnacho's done. Ornstein and Fab both confirming 40 million fixed fee plus 10% sell-on clause, and he's contracted for 7 years until 2032. Chelsea doing their classic and signing these players up for life. Also reports that Amorim has been backed by the likes of Sir Jimmy Ratcliffe and co. Antony dos Santos to Betis is on, and it looks like, in the next couple of days before the window shuts, there will be some movement, maybe a loan move, maybe a transfer. We are working on Lammens. Again, that's expected to be completed before the end of the window, next couple of days, hopefully tomorrow. Maybe there might be a here we go, or even tonight. Some sort of here we go on Lammens would be nice. Brighton want over 100 million for Baleba, and their manager, Hojlund, is 100% sure that he's staying. So it's unlikely that we'll be able to tempt them to sign Baleba unless we're prepared to pay 110 million plus. So United need to reassess and go and find a different midfielder to sign. Agume is one of the ones mentioned, obviously, for a cheap price. AS Roma still have an interest in Sancho, but he may well not want to go. We're also linked to this still a lad still. But again, we heard from Florian that said that these links last week were wider than mark and that he wasn't really linked with Manchester United. But there are still links with that player as well for some reason. At least I think I saw that, unless it was old. So yeah, that's basically the latest stuff. I'm just going to go and have a look at the latest transfer updates that may have come out during this show. Then we'll get into the live chat again there for a raw one. Jens, thank you so much for your super chat. Says I'm done with Ruberim. Total lack of wisdom. I mean, he has sharted it, mate, selecting Onana and playing Fredrickson and Heaven from the start. That's a weak sort of back area of the team there, especially with error-prone Andre. Pretty risky stuff. He should have set out a much more, solid-looking back line to begin with and respected Grimsby a little bit more, to be honest, for this game. Right, let's go and check the news, guys. Let's see what's come out here during the show, if there's anything else on Man United here. Interesting. Leeds working on Buonate from Brighton. Interesting. No. Besiktas sack Oli. Yeah, Besiktas sack Ole Gunnar. That's sad, isn't it? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What a legend. No, there's nothing else from Man United apart from just, Garnacho's on his way and he will be en route to London. Medical book for Friday. That's via Indicator News as well. So we heard that earlier on. But yeah, those guys are going to obviously get it concluded tomorrow by the looks of it. Ben Jacobs also said that the Isaac situation as of Thursday night, Nicholas Voltemade is an Isaac replacement in terms of profile, but Newcastle still want another attacker to fill the gap left by Callum Wilson. Visser remains a leading name. Okay, so Isaac at the moment obviously still expected to go. Now, they have now got an agreement in place there for Nicholas Voltemade, which is a big money move. I think it's totaling 80 million, isn't it? Newcastle off their rocker paying that much. He does look like a good talent. He does look like a good talent, but that's a lot of money. But he is a big unit. He's got good feet. He does seem quite good, and he's quite young as well. But that's too much money to pay. Newcastle have been bent there. Yeah. No, I haven't, Raisin Devil. I'm still very annoyed about that result. It's ridiculously embarrassing. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything. Who cares about the League Cup? But it's more about just what it means, the performance, getting outdone by League Two melters. We should be embarrassed, man. Stiller is interesting. Yeah, does that mean we pay you the 40 million for Garnacho over the 7 years of his contract length? No, it doesn't. I think it's a straight 40 million, actually, in regards to Garnacho on this occasion. Yeah, you'll take that lad in goal in the Kez film. How can you get rid of a manager that wins trophies? Who are you talking about? Dutch Kojak Ten Hag, he spent 600 million and had us finishing bloody 8th and stuff. The goal was rubbish. Bring back De Gea. He did get a couple of trophies, to be fair. We sacked Louis van Gaal after winning the FA Cup as well, rightfully so. He didn't have us going in the right direction. De Gea's the one. Yeah, the monk from Mean Machine would be better than Onana. Billy the Limpet from Mean Machine would be better than Onana, mate. Yeah, Flubber's penalty attempts were awful. Right, let's get stuck into the live chat properly then, guys. Hit that like button. There's 443 legends in here. Can we smash 400 likes tonight? Why not, eh? Give us a massive thumbs up if you could. That'd be amazing. Get yourself subscribed if you're new. We're on here daily and nightly with all the latest Manchester United goings on. And, of course, it's crunch time in the transfer window. Next few days are going to be pretty key. We are expected to still go and get a goalie. Lammens is obviously looking likely to be done. And I hope, at least, that we're going to go get a central midfielder, maybe even pick somebody else up, even if it's a loan move or someone just to come in and give us some more options, potentially in the wing-back areas. Oh, Amorim looked like Rain Man in the dugout during pens. I know. It was quite funny, him, like those pictures going around. I saw like a whole bunch of pictures of people like replace the, the tactics board that he's got there with like Pokemon cards. There was some pretty creative stuff going around on social media, to be fair. Chris Goose says, why do we all do this all the time at the end of the window? So frustrating. It's like the owners wait around to see if we do badly and then react. They always make signings just to appease the fans when things are bad. Yeah, or when they truly realise that they absolutely need to get someone. Like, we should have got a goalie at the start of the window and then they were settled and ready to go for the Prem's first game. That would have made a lot more sense, wouldn't it? Instead, now, with a couple of days left of the window, they've only just realised now that we need a goalie? Crazy, isn't it? Oh, I don't know, William, man. I can only imagine we're going to get better, lad. Quality player picks a stealer. You got a traffic cone to sell to United. You talking about Voltameda? Yeah, he does look good, to be fair. Just wonder who we can buy on deadline day. Yeah, great shout. Probably be Lammens. We'll see. Maybe a Gume or someone like that. They won't get in before deadline, not stumping up 130 million. Maybe not. Newcastle desperate so late in the window. Won't it be funny, though, if he doesn't move to Liverpool and they don't go for him and he ends up staying? What are they going to do? He's going to be exiled. Same as the Costco deal. Amorim will bring the glory days. Give him time to cook. I love that, Santos. That's very positive. And who's to say he can't? He's only had 9 months in the job, guys. That's not a long time, whoever you are. His record is shite during that time. But you never know. You could, if you give him time, we could turn the corner. Just look at Sir Alex. I know it's harsh to compare. Yes, there is a word on a goalkeeper, mate. It's Lammens. The Lammens deal is being worked on. We are in talks for him. This is from Fab this lunchtime at about 2 p.m. He just said that it's a work in progress. Negotiations are ongoing. The clubs are in talks. So, yes, mate, that is essentially what's going on, is we are still working on him. The reputation of Italian football, do you think Onana could be in a match-fixing scandal? I don't know. Didn't he get done for some doping shite back in the past, or am I making that up? I don't know. Onana played like a guy that knows his days are numbered. You can't. Wait, where's that comment gone? Hang on a second. Oh yeah, you can't back Amorim. He couldn't even watch the ship performance and stared at the floor. I know, that was pretty pathetic. PC World 10% off Shatterproof. It was 69 million euros. Outbid Bayern, 3 bids rejected. What does that tell you? Yeah, I know. Desperation, lad. Smart bet is on Amorim going full fetal position against Burnley 1-1 draw. Don't even. 80 mil for Voltameda. It's too much if you ask me. The new signings melted after training at United. Nobody's desperate. It's a great signing. No, I haven't sent my printer to get fixed. It was only like a 35 quid one. It was just some Canon Pixmar something or other cheap shite, so don't worry about it. Good winners, Garnacho. Rather have Voltameda than Costco. Well, I mean, I much prefer him to who we've got right now, but again, I think we can probably go and get somebody a bit better. I like Diogo Costa. I like who else? Donnarumma. 40 million in a pack of Walker's crisps. Last night, Amorim looked like he was trying to be Alex Ferguson playing weaker sides in certain competitions in the 90s and 2000s. Well, maybe. It's an interesting one, Wayne. But right now, we needed to win that for team building and team confidence. So I don't think he was thinking like that, to be fair. 65 mil, body language, it was awful. And what he said after the game, the comments he said after the game about the players showing their, what they really, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he basically just was alluding to the fact that the players don't really give a shit. Yeah, I know, Nas. Bless him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacked. Scott Sterling literally saves everything. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Bringing back De Gea feels like you guys going backwards a bit. I don't know. I think it would be a good solid signing for a few seasons. It's not going to revolutionise anything. But actually, it probably would. He was always great for us. He was always a great, solid keeper for us. He had his moments, but who doesn't? He was overall fantastically consistent. You would beg Sir Jim to sack the clown manager ASAP. You never wanted him ever since he got United 15th. Well, fair enough then, Roy. Yeah, he didn't come in and turn it around immediately. I was prepared to back him, and I'm still prepared to back him, but I understand the frustration. Ollie got 3rd and 2nd without a CDM. Bring him back and back him properly. Love it, Canute, lad. Yeah, I mean, we could certainly do worse. He did actually do quite well, as we said earlier when he was here. Ollie and Rude are coming back. Mate, duo, little tag team. Newcastle signed Isaac replacement. Yep, they've got a deal in place for Nicholas Voltameda. 65 with 5 in add-ons. Ten Hag replacing De Gea with Onana as a crime against football, pig. That really truly is. Yeah, that's one of the worst decisions he's ever possibly made. Plus also getting Malacia in there and letting Alvaro go, who ended up going to Real Madrid for 50 million quid. And it's probably going to be one of the best sort of wing left backs in the world in the future. Nice one for that. Thanks very much. And I would have rather 100% seen what Pelistri could have done than that Antony mug as well. And he never played Ahmad. He always played Antony. What a tit. Liverpool's management decided against Amorim as they believe his preferred 3-4-3 system wouldn't suit the squad. Fair. Oliver Glasner's bookie's favourite along with Southgate. I'd definitely rather Glasner than Southgate, 100%. Who's the lowdown pig? Any Belabor news? Not really, no. Last Belabor news is simply quotes from Herzler that just says that, you know, more than 100% he's going to stay. More than 100% Belabor's going to stay. That's what he said. Ollie in. I know, I've seen it soliloquy, mate. It's the way he saves everything with his face. It's brilliant. Donnarumma's still available. When are we signing Willow? Yeah, I'm with you, Duderino. Smash a one if you would go all out. I know he's looking likely to join City. But, I mean, I feel like if we tried to turn his head, it's possible. We are Man United. We can pay big money. He is the keeper that deserves big money, and he's only 26. Filip Todorovic says if he improves, Man United will be mocked. If he flops, he'll be sold to Arsenal. He was playing snakes and ladders. We need a can. We should have press for a new keeper. The moment we found that Onana was crocked. Good shout. Isaac's the new Sancho. He is a spoilt little brat mercenary twat, isn't he? Forcing a move. It's not nice to see, really. Amorim's going to replace Ten Hag at Leverkusen. Formation fits all. No, he's not worth that amount. He is a good player, but they've paid well over the odds for him, in my opinion. Only time will tell, but right now I feel the same. Yeah, too much money. Yes, the mustard. Bye-bye, Garnacho, you petulant little prick. Go and get Gahey. Yeah, great shout as well. Great shout as well. Big fan. Donnarumma's not choosing United over City. I mean, you know, if you paid him maybe a bit more, he might change his mind. But yeah, probably not. Please get Timo Schafter to try get Lurpak or Slip and Slide sponsorship for Onana. That should be easy. Voltemur is decent but pricey. Yeah, good young player. I think he's only like 23. He's big and tall as well, and he moves well for a big and tall lad. He's got good quick feet for a big man. So he is quite decent. You know, we've seen some players maybe like Ekatike, people like that come over and look good. So he could well be good, but it's a lot of money to take, and he's pretty unproven, really. Any potential deal for Belabor whatsoever? Wouldn't have thought so, Chris Kuhn. Not based on what Herzler said and the amount of money that they want. We'd have to pay over 100 million for him. He did for Ajax, I think, Pig. Lammens deal's taking ages. Yeah, why is that taking ages? It's supposed to be just a small amount of money and the window's about to close. Surely they just want to cash in. It's being worked on. It'll be agreed. It'll be probably 17 to 20 million. Yeah, fair enough, Simon. It is pretty shoddy. Yeah. You'd beg Sir Jim to sack the clown manager ASAP. Never wanted him since... Oh, yeah, I read that one out, didn't I? Yeah. Not really, Alcan. I was a few weeks ago, but I'm definitely not now. You make me an offer, William Reedy, lad. Honestly, you make me an offer, mate. Not very much. 50 quid, it's yours. Yeah, 64 million. You can't believe we still haven't signed any midfielders. Baffling. Successful season would be top 6 or 7, man. We need to get back into Europe, George. We spent 200 million already. We need to spend another 100 million before the window shuts. If we do, we've got to get back into Europe. You pay £25 for Onana. 64 plus 5 in add-ons for Voltmenos. These other joke prices. I ignored your super chat. I missed it, lad. I missed it. Unless I didn't miss it. I don't know. Are you sure I heard? Wait a second. Oh, yes, sorry, I missed that one. Gucci Watamane, thank you so much. Gucci Wanamane, I mean. He says Drogba came back to us and he was great. De Gea's the breath of fresh air you guys need to revitalise things in goal. Spot on, Gucci Watamane. Should have never gone in the first place. I totally agree with you. Let's think of another example of a player who's gone back to a team for a second time and been a success. Let's try and think about that. Paul Scholes. I don't know if that really counts because he didn't go anywhere else. He just came out of retirement. You know what I mean? Fucking awesome when that happened. You remember? What else? There's been obviously a bunch of times. Yeah, that's true. Thierry Henry. Oh yeah, when he came back on loan from Red Bull or whatever, and he scored against Leeds. Remember that? They won't get anyone else, and we'll have to watch Onana and Ugarte walk us to relegation. Your printer would save more penalties. Probably, lad. You'd take De Gea back over Lammens. Me too. Guys, Lammens or De Gea? They're asking 25 for Lammens. Shouldn't 25 million get you 34-year-old De Gea? He's still great for a few seasons. You know, okay, it's crazy to pay that for somebody we let go. But honestly, that's kind of what we need right now is just somebody like De Gea. Mark Hughes. Yeah, great shout. Robbie Fowler was shit second time. Mark Hughes, Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans, yeah. Fracture, what's going on, you legend? You know, all things considered, considering what happened yesterday, mate, not too bad. Agume has potential, but we need tested players in midfield. Good shout. I mean, I do like the look of Agume, but again, he's not proven in the Premier League, but I do like the look of him. We kind of need to speculate to accumulate. We need to get someone anyway. If we can't get Belabored for 100 mil, we need to get someone, and Agume sort of fits the bill. United need to spend another 400 million next summer. Crikey, well, hopefully not that much, but, you know, we do need to invest over a few windows. Think of many players that returned that didn't work out. I mean, that does happen as well. CR7 did his part, to be fair. Mate, first season for Ronaldo back at United, he got 18 goals in the league. He was solid. Yeah, buy a load of Frisch Shop guitars for prop. It's a fantastic idea. Oh, 793, you Don. Man United fans having a laugh. Sack Amorim and replace him with who? Who would you take that on at the minute? It's got to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, lad. He's just been sacked by Besiktas. Get him in. No, I'm joking. I mean, I don't want to get rid of Amorim right now either. That's not even the right candidate. If Ancelotti was just waiting in the wings, that's different. But he's over in Brasilia, so he's busy. You know, it's not going to happen. De Gea. Yeah, Henry, Fowler. De Gea would probably be keen given the state of Fiorentina tonight. Oh, really? I didn't see it. They were shite, were they? Yeah, he had an eye problem, didn't he? When Scholes came back, it was such a good time, though. Took us to that next level. Definitely, you know, it was just like he'd never been away, really. What a player. De Gea got muddered by the club. Can blame Ten Hag, but still, he ain't going back. Well, Ten Hag's not there, is he? So, I don't know. He loved Man United, to be fair. That's more down to Ten Hag's decision than anything. Now that we sold that puke Garnacho, we have funds to get Lammens by the end of the weekend. Definitely now, definitely. Going all in for the Belamer. Not actually raising it was the printer that got the brunt of most of the issues last night, that. Prem proven is a thing, though, Santos. It is a thing. Do you think Medjby's going to haunt you with Burnley just like an... Maybe, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe he's a good player. Bit of a rough result, but maybe it will help you focus on the league and build there. Shite result. We have to beat Burnley. Pressure's on now, though. It's not great for confidence if you can't even beat Grimsby Town. You take Taibbi back over Onana. De Gea's terrible. Are you joking me? De Gea's literally the player that's received the most Player of the Year awards for Man United in our history. You do realise that, yeah? The most Matt Busby awards for Best Player of the Season. He's got like 4 or 5. You know, he's an absolute don for us, mate. De Gea all day, twice on Sunday. I know, fair enough. Well, Drogba was mentioned there, you know, Drogba. Nobody in rush. And also, yeah, Mark Hughes, Brian Robson. You haven't even finished watching the TalkSport fan rants about speculation of selling him, and here we are. People saying De Gea is awful must not have watched Onana. I know, and they must not have watched De Gea. De Gea was immense for us. What a shot stopper, one of the best shot stoppers in the world. Think of the positives for United. They only have one trophy to compete for. Well, that's one way of looking at it, I suppose, yeah. You take Prime Rasmus back, you what? Onana's good at Inter. Well, he was apparently. You know, Ronaldo probably will be the same as De Gea. The player won't be the problem. The problem will be asking him to do something he can't. I know, Ewan, Ole Gunnar, but Angie Postecoglou, nah, you're all right. Big flange can stay on the unemployment line, lad. Sack Amorim just for the next coach who want to be being sacked in another 9 months. Precisely. It's stupid, mate. Let's at least get behind this project for a couple of seasons, or at least, you know, you've got to have this season, really. They made an epic comeback, but looked like complete dog snobs. Oh, well, really? Okay. He was going to say Rooney going back to Everton, but didn't he flop? Not really. I don't think he flopped. No, I seem to remember him scoring some banging goals, including one from the halfway line and stuff. I don't know if he flopped. I don't think he was obviously as good as when he was at United, but I don't think he flopped. You honestly think a good keeper in midfield? That's a good one, though. You honestly think a good keeper in midfielder, it may solve a lot of your problems? It did fracture. It did, mate. It got mashed right up. Down, but not out. Oh, yeah, love it. Had a great season last season. What you on about? Who's this we're talking about now? De Gea in Fiorentina was immense last season, yeah. Butchered my town. I have a field day when I go in tomorrow. You're not optimistic about this season. At the very least, we need to be competitive. Now, all the optimism's been blown away after that Grimsby and Fulham results, mate. Sort of, Jamie. We had a big offer on the table for him, and then we revoked it. That's actually what happened. So we had an offer on the table. He's taken his time to think about it, and then we've gone, actually, you know what? Nah, do one. So, you know, you can look at it which way you want, but I personally think he's entitled to have a think about it, isn't he? But then we've taken it back. That was the understanding of the situation from my end anyway, is that we actually had an offer on the table for a while, and then after a while we've gone, actually, you can do one, and we're signing Andre. Oh, that'd be fantastic. Please take him off of our hands. John O'Shea over Onana, 100%. Only one trophy to lose. I don't really want to keep Rasmus, to be fair. Defoe for Spurs too. Oh, yeah, great shout. De Gea could walk into the United team with open arms for the fans. Spot on. Look at his reception he got back when Fiorentina came during pre-season. I did not watch the Champions League draw, mate. No, any interest in groups or ties or whatever? I'm not interested in it, mate, because we're not even in it, lad. Roy Keane ripped De Gea to shreds on TV. Where's the same treatment now for even worse keepers? Precisely, I know. Yeah, he was so much better, wasn't he? So much better than all the shite we've got since. Has Ruben got a bus license? Perhaps he could drive the team on. You heard this squad has players from 4 or 5 managers. That's insane. Yeah, that is pretty nutty. We must have done Gregory Burke. I can't remember what division MK Dons were in at the time. They were probably League One, were they, when we lost them a few years back? We also lost to York City when Sir Alex was here, I think 4-0 again or something like that back in the day. And they were probably in like League 1 or 2 at the time. So it has happened before. Remember that claw for a hand jab? I mean, I do, yeah. Look, De Gea made a few errors, but overall he was immense compared to most. You know this is United channel, but not going to lie. Happy for Grimsby being born and bred in Grimbarian. Is that what it is, Grimbarian? The whole town will remember that for time. That's such a huge result. Yeah, no, it is. And they actually deserved it, to be honest. De Gea would be far better. Yeah, Zlatan for AC Milan. Roy has his faves in his targets. Hope your ticker's all right today. Well, I've calmed down a bit, but I'm still annoyed, mate. And then this Garnacho guff's pissed me off a little bit more as well. Ballon d'Or McTominay, you watch Mac back lead us to Promised Land. Return of the Mac. Yeah, mate, let's get McTominay and David De Gea back. Possibly, Robert. Mate, Dean Henderson's another one. He should have never been allowed to go in hindsight. He's done really well since. I would take Edison, mate. Absolutely, Daniel. Which one do you mean, the midfielder or the goalie? I'd take both, to be honest. The offer's on the table for 6 months. George Best 6, Northampton 1. Let's go. Garnacho stay Man United. Yes, they are going to complete it tomorrow, it seems, Thomas. He's having his medical tomorrow, and they've reached an agreement there for 40 million fixed plus 10% future sell-on clause as well to Man United. Yeah, well, Josh, I don't know about that. There's not really any great candidates, I guess, right now to come straight in. I mean, I guess Glasner. I would take a punt on Glasner over someone like Southgate. De Gea won't be signed. I don't know why you're banging on about him. Just because he was a great keeper who should have never left. That's why. And much better than the shite we've got at this moment in time. Liverpool and City got Real Madrid. We got Barcelona, Bayern, Napoli. Ooh, filth. Get in. Hey, you have a good one, Raisin Devil. Appreciate you getting in here. Yeah, we're going to be wrapping these up in a bit. It's a Grimbarian. What was I calling them yesterday? Grimsbyites or Grimsbonians or something. Can't remember now. Yeah, someone should send a mock Grimsby keys to the city. Oh, and known as an official Grimbarian. Yeah, there you go, Duderino, lad. It's hilarious how you all blame the managers. Your whole team, bar Bruno and Bremo, are terrible. You've given Amorim no time to rebuild. And even Bruno's been pretty terrible this season so far for us. I mean, it's fair. Amorim hasn't had that much time, and we've had a pretty shite set of players, lad. Yeah, I remember that fracture. How could I forget? Team consistently does this and then wins when they shouldn't. You know they'll beat City somehow. Well, maybe. That's a good point. We do seem to turn up in those sorts of games. You know it. We all love Ollie, lad. We all love Ollie. Let's hope Garnacho's going to be a big flopper at Chelsea. Yes, mate. Right, I'm going to read a few more comments out here then tonight, guys. And then we're going to be wrapping up this stream. But it has been a fun stream. Thank you so much for getting in and having your say and your thoughts. There's the latest on Garnacho and co. Make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and get yourself in there raw, my friends. I'm going to shout out everyone that's reposted us now. I forgot to do that. Thank you all the reposters on X. Appreciate you all. Thanks for sharing the show around. We've had 13 reposts. Thank you so much to Kane, Larry Hass, Andy Davidge, Gary Wadsley, Louis Joshua, Ryan Neeson, John Boy Cat, Kieran, Devil's Advocate, G-Wolf United, SBR, and Aaron. Thank you guys so much there for reposting us. And we smashed 400 likes. Get the fuck in there, my son. That's a banging amount of likes on the stream. Cheers, everyone who's hit the thumbs ups. You're a set of legends. All right, I'm going to read a few more out and then we'll wrap it up. Yeah, Glasner is proven to be, a winner so far. He certainly has big potential and a bit of experience in the Prem, obviously, now. Ollie back him this time, fair play. Not really, Elliot. Still, he's weighing up his options because he doesn't want to be here anymore and he only wants to play for Chelsea. He's a spoilt little brat. He's basically a traitor, mate. He's a traitor. He's turning his back on Man United to go and play for Chelsea. What a shithouse. What a traitor. Hate him, mate. Simply love for De Gea. No one's too serious about him returning. Nobody thinks we're going to go in for him, no. But we should. Seagull loving gully or something, wasn't it, you said? I can't remember now. Today it wasn't still is a fantastic shot stopper, but we have to move forward. Well, getting him actually would make us better in the short term. Wrap it up, pigs and blankets. Hey, well, not. Merman made me laugh. Oh, Merman Onana, yeah. We need Leeds in the next game. Mate, I hope we batter Leeds this season, Piggy. We need to get sorted and at least get rid of Onana because we won't get number one until he's gone. Well, we probably will be able to get a number one before then. It looks like we're getting Lammens, but we need to get rid of Onana because he should potentially be our number two if once we've signed Lammens, which means surely Onana doesn't even want to be here and he won't be playing and he's on decent wages. So we need to get his wages off the books and try and move him on. Yes, that's about right, Fracture, and he's lost a large amount of them as well. Everything worse, that's not a rebuild. Well, I guess. Sometimes you have to go backwards before you can go forwards, though. That's also a thing. You and Leeds could have met in the Carabao Cup, but lost on pens to Sheffield Wednesday and Grimsby Town, respectively. There you go. Amorim, though, does not inspire. Not so far. I haven't been able to get the results. It's not a lot of games. It's not a lot of games. Players too fragile. Until we fire Maguire, this club won't work. It's not Maguire's fault, is it, to be fair? Maguire's pretty solid. He's just a backup for us these days. He's playing like second fiddle, isn't he? Needed boots in Brian Robson. Oh, yeah. Going back to work, Pig. Hey, you have an awesome one, George Aswell. Thank you for getting in here, my friend. Mr. and Mrs. Pig, have a great night. You too, Paul of the Red. Have a good one, you legend. Onana is bearing can tell by the fins. Thanks for the update. Thank you, Thomas Penn. Fracture says if you don't see enough of the change of anything in 30 games with him playing his one-way style of football, he's clearly not adjusting. No, I agree. He does have to make a change now. We do have to see some willingness to try some other things. We shouldn't just play one way. It's stupid. Anyway, yeah. Nice one, GB. I agree with you. See you later on, Alejandro Garnacho. Anyway, we're going to wrap up this stream now, but thank you so much for tuning in. Mason Mount is exactly the same. Yeah, he's a traitor of Chelsea. I didn't want Mason Mount either. I don't want him either, lad. Start heating, great shout. Next stream tomorrow lunchtime, Elliot. We'll be back on here with the latest transfer news around about 1 p.m, sometime around there. If there's anything big before then, we'll jump on and, cover the latest news. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click the bell icon for notifications. Check the links in the description. You can give us a follow on social media all over the place. Check out Match Bingo if you're in the UK, 18 plus, gamble aware. Scan the QR code if you want, or there's a link in the description. Nice one. Okay, nice one, guys. Thank you, Chris Koo. He sent a super chat at the end of the stream. He says, love to you, Pig, and the Bacon Brigade. Oink, oink. Thank you so much, Chris Koo. You're a hero, lad. Thank you very much for that at the end. Right, guys, it's been a pleasure as always. Thanks to all the members like Fracture and Chris Koo and all the green legends in green there. Thank you to all the moderators in blue as well for moderating the chat. And everybody who's got in here, big ups, Adjin there for subscribing to the channel. If you're new like him, hit the sub up before you leave. Smash the subscribe, click the bell icon, smash the likes. Legends, nice one. By Design, Story, Ash as well, Simon, Fracture You Don. Well, we'll see. I plan for 1 p.m. Duderino, Wayne, Elliot, Paul, Madhouse, Arsenal for Life, Get Out, Fracture, James, Jamie, Hardcore Gamer, Duderino, GB, Soliloquy, and By Design, Chris, Kuyudon, Watt, Ryan Martin. Thank you, Ryan. You can always come back after this stream's finished and get your thoughts in about Garnacho to Chelsea for 40 minutes. I'm annoyed about the price, but I'm obviously not annoyed that he's gone. But to a Premier League rival for chump change, it leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. I'm not sure about it. I don't like it. It's too cheap. They've got too good of a deal there. So I'm annoyed. But anyway, that's it from me, guys. Come back and have your say after this stream's finished in the not live comment section. And I'll see you on the next one. And remember, Piggy loves you. And also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, you beauties. Thank you so much to all the patrons here for supporting the channel on patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. As a thank you, all you legends will be appearing on this outro list. Get in there. Once again, thank you to all the YouTube members, but one of the best ways you can support the channel is on patreon.com, so check it out. Patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. And once again, a big thank you to all the legends that do support the channel on Patreon. Get in there.